She wasn't heartless, she was wounded. Every step she took away from love was shaped by scars left behind by broken promises, abandonment, and the fear of being hurt again. Commitment felt like a trap, not a comfort. So whenever emotions grew deeper, she chose distance over vulnerability, silence over confession, and escape over connection. He, on the other hand, never demanded explanations. Night after night he waited, not with desperation but with quiet faith. His love wasn't loud or forceful. It was steady, patient, and unshaken. While she ran, he stayed exactly where love asked him to be, believing that one day she might finally feel safe enough to stop. Each passing night became a silent promise. He didn't chase her down or beg her to return. He trusted that real love doesn't pressure, control, or corner. It waits. It understands. It endures even when it hurts. She never noticed how rare that kind of love was, until distance became routine and his presence turned into something she assumed would always be there. Fear kept pushing her forward, unaware that behind her stood someone choosing her every single night. And in that contrast, her running, his staying, the true meaning of love revealed itself, not in grand gestures but in the courage to remain when walking away would be easier. He never tried to fix her, never rushed her healing, and never asked for more than she could give. His consistency spoke louder than promises, showing up when it was inconvenient, staying when it was painful, and choosing patience over pride. Day by day, his unconditional presence became the one thing in her life that didn't disappear. Slowly, her defenses began to crack. The walls she had built to survive, cold silence, emotional distance, carefully measured responses, started to weaken. For the first time, love didn't feel like a threat. It felt safe. His devotion wasn't dramatic or demanding. It was steady, reassuring, and real. Through him, she learned that love could exist without manipulation, pressure, or fear. Moments she once brushed aside suddenly carried weight. His quiet concern, his unwavering support, the way he stayed even when she pushed him away, all of it reshaped her understanding of devotion. She began to believe that love didn't always end in pain, that trust could grow without being forced. But realization came slowly, too slowly. By the time she found the courage to open her heart, to finally step toward him instead of away, the balance had shifted. The man who had waited without question had grown tired of waiting without hope. And in that painful awakening, she learned the hardest truth of all. Some people teach us what love truly is, not so we can keep them, but so we can understand what we lost when we were afraid to believe. The cruelest twist of all came at the moment she was finally ready to choose love. The fear that once controlled her had begun to loosen its grip, replaced by courage, hope, and the belief that she deserved something real. For the first time, she wasn't running. She was reaching out. But fate had already moved on. The man who had never given up on her, who stayed through silence, distance, and unanswered nights, was no longer there to wait. Whether taken away by circumstance, exhaustion, or destiny itself, his absence was final. The space he once filled with patience and quiet devotion now echoed with regret. She replayed every moment, the nights he stayed, the chances she delayed, the words she never said. Love had been there all along, offering itself freely, but courage arrived too late. And in that realization, she learned the most painful truth. Timing can be as powerful as love itself. Some love stories don't end because feelings fade or promises break. They end because one heart arrives ready while the other has already learned to let go. The loss wasn't just of a man, it was the loss of a second chance she never thought she could lose. In the end, his absence became the lesson he never intended to teach. Love requires bravery when it knocks, not when it's gone. And sometimes the greatest regret isn't loving too much, but loving too late.